Trail cams have become a popular tool for capturing footage of wildlife, but sometimes they capture something much more unsettling. Scary trail cam footage can leave us feeling uneasy and even make us question what we believe about the world around us. Some of the most chilling trail cam footage features mysterious beings lurking in the darkness. And today we'll be looking at exactly that kind of scary trail cam footages that'll definitely give you goosebumps. It's not uncommon for motion-activated cameras to capture strange and unexplained phenomena. In fact, these cameras are often used specifically to capture evidence of paranormal activity or other unusual occurrences. However, it's important to approach any such footage with a healthy dose of skepticism. While it's certainly possible that the object captured on the camera in Sydney was a ghost or some other supernatural entity, it's also possible that there is a more mundane explanation. For example, it could be an animal that simply looks strange or is caught in an unusual pose. It could also be a piece of debris or another object that's being blown around by the wind. Additionally, camera malfunctions or glitches can sometimes create strange and unexpected visual effects that may be mistaken for something more sinister. Of course, that's not to say that ghosts or other paranormal entities don't exist. There are countless stories and reports of unexplained phenomena that seem to defy rational explanations. However, it's important to approach these stories with an open mind and a healthy dose of skepticism. At the end of the day, the mystery of what was captured on the camera in Sydney may never be fully solved. However, it's always intriguing to explore these mysteries and try to uncover the truth behind them, whether it's a ghost, an animal, or something else entirely. The footage captured on that camera is a reminder of how much we still don't know about the world around us. In recent years, sightings of people dressed in clown costumes have become increasingly common, and many of these individuals are intentionally trying to scare people. While some may see it as harmless fun or a way to get an adrenaline rush, these actions can have serious consequences. The video shows a man's trail cam recording in the middle of the forest at night, where a creepy-looking clown suddenly appears in front of the camera. This is not only unsettling, but also raises concerns about why someone would be in the middle of the forest, dressed like a clown and holding what appears to be a knife. It's important to remember that not all individuals who dress up as clowns are out to cause harm. However, the increasing frequency of these sightings can cause fear and panic among people, especially children. This fear can have a lasting impact on their mental health and well-being. Additionally, those who dress up as clowns and intentionally try to scare people are putting themselves at a risk of harm as well. Some individuals may react aggressively when they feel threatened or scared, which can result in physical altercations and potentially serious injuries. While some may view clown sightings as harmless fun, it's important to consider the potential consequences of these actions. It's crucial for individuals to think about the impact of their actions may have on others to avoid putting themselves or others in harm's way. Encounters between grizzly bears and livestock, such as horses and cows, are not uncommon in areas where humans and wildlife coexist. While it can be exciting to see these powerful animals in their natural habitat, it's important to remember the potential dangers they pose to both humans and livestock. In the capture, we see a group of horses running by a trail camera, followed closely by a grizzly bear. The horses are clearly distressed, and it's unclear if all of them were able to escape unharmed. Grizzly bears are apex predators and are known to be powerful hunters. An attack on a horse or cow can result in serious injuries or even death. This isn't only a threat to the animals themselves, but also to the livelihoods of those who depend on them. It's important for those who live or work in bear country to take precautions to minimize the risk of encounters with grizzly bears. Properly storing food and garbage is one of the most effective ways to reduce the likelihood of attracting bears to an area. Avoid hiking or camping alone, and being aware of your surroundings at all times is also important precautions to take. It's also important to note that encounters between grizzly bears and livestock can have significant impacts on local ecosystems. When grizzly bears prey on livestock, they can disrupt the natural balance of predator-prey relationships in the area. This can have cascading effects on other species in the ecosystem. In conclusion, while sightings of grizzly bears can be awe-inspiring, it's crucial to remember the potential dangers they pose to both humans and livestock. Taking precautions to minimize the risk of encounters is essential for promoting coexistence between humans and wildlife in bear country. Have you heard of the mysterious balls of light that are said to be spirits or the ghosts of fairies? These supernatural phenomena are often considered a sign of paranormal activity. The deep woods of Tennessee is no stranger to strange occurrences, as evidenced by this trail cam image that has been circulating on paranormal forums. This image shows a hovering ball of light, leaving the owner of the trail camera wondering if he had stumbled upon a forest with supernatural activity. The fear caused him to seek confirmation from the paranormal community, who confirmed the possibility of paranormal activity. However, some skeptics pointed out that the light could simply be a flash from the camera. But as the owner of the camera pointed out, it was a trail cam that shoots video and doesn't have flash. Others suggested that the light could be a function of the camera's shutter speed or a flashlight from an external source. But these explanations simply do not fit the context of the image. So the question remains, could we be looking at genuine paranormal activity, or is everyone simply being paranoid? It's up to you to decide. The idea of a humanoid creature with canine features has been a popular myth for centuries. Tales of werewolves and other shape-shifting creatures have been passed down through generations and have fascinated people around the world. The image captured by the alleged trail camera, with its dark, hairy appearance, tall, pointy ears, and canine-like face, seemed to fit the description of a dogman, a mythical creature that has gained popularity in recent years. However, it's important to approach such pictures and stories with a critical eye. It's easy to manipulate images in today's digital age, and it's important to consider all possible explanations before jumping to conclusions. One possibility is that the image is simply a hoax or a misidentification of a known animal. Many animals, such as bears, can appear to be much larger and more ominous than they actually are when caught on camera. Similarly, some species of canids, such as coyotes or wolves, can exhibit bipedal behavior under certain circumstances. On the other hand, there are those who believe that the creature in the image is the real dogman or some other kind of cryptid, an animal whose existence has not been proven by science. These believers point to the numerous sightings and stories that have been reported over the years as evidence of the creature's existence. Whether the image is real or fake, it's clear that it has captured the imaginations of many people. It's not uncommon for myths and legends to gain traction in modern times, fueled by the internet and social media. However, it's important to remember that not everything we see or read online is true. The image captured by the alleged trail camera is a fascinating and intriguing mystery. Whether it's a real dogman or some other kind of creature, or simply a hoax or misidentification, remains to be seen. It's up to us to approach a story with a critical mind and to keep an open mind as the discussion continues. The darkness can be an unsettling place, especially when it comes to mysterious beings lurking in the shadows. The imagination can run wild with thoughts of what could be hiding just beyond our line of sight. Suddenly facing one of these mysterious beings can be a terrifying experience. The fear and panic that sets in when confronted with the unknown can be overwhelming. In some cases, these beings may be supernatural in nature, such as ghosts, demons, or other entities. They may take on physical forms, or they may simply manifest as eerie sounds or sensations. In other cases, they may be more grounded in reality, such as wild animals or even other people who mean to do us harm. These encounters can be just as frightening, if not more so, as they are tangible and pose a real threat. Thankfully, we have these trail cams which are there to warn us about these unknown beings. Researchers are already using trail cameras in their field research, which allows them to remotely monitor habitats and herd movements. And for the same reason, they're also being used in wildlife conservation and land management as a tool to monitor habitats. As a matter of fact, citizen scientists and backyard photographers can use these devices for the same purpose as well. As a matter of fact, most of the time they're used purely for fun. You could choose to build a cumulative list of diverse wildlife species you find on your property as a supplement to your property management plan in order to show the diversity of wildlife species on your property. Taken by John, a fisherman who had made wild claims about being left petrified for a month after encountering the supposed half-dog, half-human creature on 2 separate occasions, and who claims he was left dazed and alone. According to his statement on the podcast, he said that he was followed by an individual who he has branded a dog man, and he thought he was gonna get killed. As John tells the story, he was fishing from a kayak on the morning of Boxing Day last year when the first incident occurred. Even though he felt petrified, John once again returned to the bush for a fishing trip, despite the terror he felt at the time. He says he heard what sounded like a bang, followed by the sound of someone or something running. He said, as it was running, it was smashing trees out of the way. I didn't know if they were breaking them or hitting them. You couldn't see what the bush was like because it was so thick. When John tried to escape back into the safety of his car, he spent approximately 10 minutes trying to escape the dogman, who then started to growl. John stated that he had never heard anything like this before in his life, and that he had never heard anything even close to it. As he explained, it would roar and then it would take a breath in. But then, as he went on to explain, the breath it was taken in was actually louder than the roar it was making. Despite his outlandish claims, John has insisted he's not barking up the wrong tree with his suggestion that there is an actual dogman and fears someone may get hurt. It's undeniable that this is one of the craziest incidents I've ever heard of in my life, yet it's also one of the most dangerous I've ever witnessed. Many individuals seem to ignore these cases by saying it's just for publicity purposes, but if you think about it, there are probably some things in this world that walk around among us but have yet to be discovered by mankind. What do you think of this? Do you think it's real? Well, tell us your opinion in the comments. The footage you see here was taken by a night camera used by a team of campers who were staying in their tents, when suddenly, a lion appeared in front of their tent and knocked on the door. It's generally accepted that lions are the kings of the jungle. However, sometimes due to starvation or just to have some fun, they're also nocturnal. In this case, the lion was turned into a hiker that wanted to stay in a tent and slept in the tent that this man had set up. As you can see in the footage, the man was trying to save his life by hiding himself from the lion. And as soon as he saw the lion was gone, he immediately went out of his tent and checked up on his friends to see if they were okay. However, the stubborn lion also happened to be a hiker, so he resurfaced after a while. And fortunately, the man was able to save his life in just a few seconds, so he quickly jumped into his tent and locked himself. Fortunately, no one was hurt by the lions. However, for the men inside that tent, it was a very real threat. I would have screamed in fear if I was there. If you were there, what would you have done? What would you have thought? Please let us know in the comments below. In Cambridge, New York, a trail camera that captured this image had a lot of people talking about ghosts because of the photo. The photo was taken in late March 2017 by landowners who had recently bought a piece of land in a wooded area and had been looking forward to going hunting on it. As you can see from the grainy picture, this little girl was playing in the woods. New owners of the property installed trail cameras to monitor the area so they could see if anyone wandered through the area at any time. According to the police chief, George Bell, who confirmed the photo's authenticity, the landlord shared the photo with police in hopes of identifying the child in it. According to George, the idea originally was just to identify who the child was, but it seems no one had been able to come forward with any information regarding the girl up until now. Even so, everyone in town isn't sure if the image was caused by a ghost, at least not yet. Some of the neighbors believe that this is just a little girl playing in the woods, and they don't think that it's an actual real ghost. As a matter of fact, they think it's hard to believe whatever you see on social media today, since that's what's rampant online. Nevertheless, a paranormal expert has been telling the family that based on the area's history, paranormal activity is fairly common in the area. According to the police, they've received a lot of phone calls and emails since they posted the photo. As a matter of fact, there's a legend that claims the girl was run over and killed on train tracks that passed through the area once upon a time. I guess this dude is high, but what do you think of the photo? Do you think it was real? In my opinion, it was a real girl who had just gotten lost in the woods. But even if you think about it, I think it's still a strange thing that happened. The owner of a trail cam in Lancaster County set it up to see what kind of wildlife he could catch with it. As he looked at the footage he captured, he did a double take. There's a property owned by Pat Roadheaver in East Drummer Township, which stands on 3 acres. This is where he saw a deer with what appeared to be 2 nostrils on its head. Initially, he thought a lot of it must have been disbelief on his part, as he described much of it at the time. Initially, when he showed his wife and the family in the video, they were like, "Oh no, this must be fake. There's gotta be something wrong with the camera." A representative from the Pennsylvania Game Commission, however, told Roadheaver that the deer likely suffered a traumatic injury that resulted in its nasal passages being exposed. Other than that, the deer seems to be doing fine. However, this isn't the first time someone caught a deer that's weird in some way. As a matter of fact, a wildlife official said in West Seneca, New York, that a white deer caught on camera in West Seneca appears to be a leucistic white-tailed deer. There have been photos posted to Facebook by the West Seneca Police Department showing what they believe to be a Seneca white deer. He even joked on his post by captioning, "They maybe just got confused by our local highway signs for West Seneca and took the wrong exit." However, in reality, a specialist said that leucism, which occurs when the animal has white patches or even completely white fur, is a very rare condition. This is true albinism, which occurs when the animal is entirely devoid of pigment, including the eyes, and is much rarer than leucism. The deer in the photo is not one of those albino deer. I don't know if this was horrifying, but it was strange to see a white deer when deer are supposed to be white. In any case, just like humans, animals also suffer from disorders and diseases that causes them to look the way they do. In this case, the deer has a very special appearance. Anyway, what do you guys think of this deer? Tell us in the comments. And that's it, guys. We hope that you enjoyed the video and it gave you the chills. If you have any other similar stories or experiences, be sure to share them with us in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Until then, peace.